Hey there team, welcome to this week's task, which is all about optimizing your level, specifically your package level in Unreal Engine. So I recommend, just as I did last week, this particular level. It's the Soul City one. I've linked to it in the document that I gave you, because it's fairly heavy and it means that it can kind of pull the frame rate down a little bit if we have everything running at max settings. If you've got a super duper PC, you could also consider taking a look at the Kite demo outdoor level if you can get it to open on your PC. But unless you know your PC is super duper, I would leave that one alone. Anyway, here's what we need to do. So even though we know that the PCs that we have at the UCR are now really good, we still need to make sure that you're going to be hitting consistently above 60 FPS. And this is just an exercise to show you different ways of doing that. So the first thing I want you to do once you've got this level open is to get a screenshot for me of like what is your benchmark your benchmark frame rate. So the way that we need to do that is go into settings, into engine scalability settings, and just make sure it's all the way up. So 100% and epic, that'll do. And then we're going to play it. We're going to hit F11 to go full screen, and then choose where you're going to put in, like where you're going to start from. So I'm going to go just about here and look into the beautiful city. Right, and then we need to know what the frame rate is. So to display that, if you hit the tilde key so that you can put in a console command, and then we're going to type in stat space FPS. And you can see my PC does not like this. I've got a little 750 Ti screaming away in my case right now. Sorry, little guy. So what we need to do now is put in some optimization. So first things first, get me a screenshot of this, your benchmark. So I would have about 21 frames per second as my benchmark for this exercise. Then we need to look at some optimizations that we can put in. So for instance, if we just put in like the tilde key, and we're going to do r.screen percentage, and I'm going to set that down to 70. So this is going to lower the internal resolution, which a lot of games use. So if you look at the console games that are apparently running at 4K, a lot of them are running at resolutions below that, and then scaling back up to 4K using the internal resolution like we're going to do here. So I'm going to now press enter on that, and you'll see that now my frame rate's gone up to fairly comfortably above 30. That's a good start. So we'll leave that there for now. So if I just hit escape and F11, and then what we can do is have a look at this. So this is the scalability reference that's provided by Epic. So if you just Google UE4 scalability reference, or I'm sure I'll give you the link to the page as well, this shows you pretty much everything you can change. So you can see the first thing that we've just changed is resolution scale. I tend to do that anytime I open up a student project and they've just packaged it at full crazy quality. I always have to drop this down because it'll, make my laptop explode. But we can also change things like this. So you can see r.view distance scale. We can drop that. So if we do that again, so let's do r.view distance scale, and let's set that to something ridiculous like 0.1. You can see that's kind of made it look a bit daft. I don't even know if it will help with the frame rate, to be honest. I suppose it can't make it worse. What's that bought me? Like another 2 frames. Woohoo! So that's one thing that we can do. I wouldn't recommend doing this one, or not bringing it down by so much. What's it called? Draw? No? Oh man, what's it called? View distance scale. Silly Shane. View distance scale. So let's set that to something like 0.8. So it's not really going to change much, but it might just take a little bit off. And hopefully as we move kind of backwards and forwards, if we don't see pop-ins, that might be okay. So I can mess with that one. So the first thing that you guys need to do is experiment with these. See how much it costs you in the visuals versus what performance do you get back for it. and we'll tell you some of the ones that you definitely want to change. So anti-aliasing is worth changing. Post-process quality, definitely. Remember that this level should have run on a mobile, so you should be able to get it to run pretty well. And you will see as well that you can do it overall, post-process quality 0, but you can go more granular than that. When you set post-process quality to 0, it actually does all of these. And you can set all of these individually if you want to be. So maybe you want it all at 0, but you want the lens flares to still be doing something, so you might up just that part of it, if that's the way you decide to go. So when you're happy with these changes, then what you have to do is make sure that they will happen when you package a game. So at the moment, they're only happening in this instance of the editor. If we want it to happen in the game every time and when it's packaged, we need to put it in the level blueprint. So let's open the level blueprint, and we need begin play. So as soon as it begins play, we'll set this up, and we're going to just execute them as console commands. So just to make my point, we're going to do r.screen percentage 10. Let's make it look like arse. Compile that and play. There you go. And there you can see it's like we've had a few too many drinks. Oh yeah. So obviously we wouldn't do that, but you can see the point is I've not had to type that in again. That happened straight away on begin play. And then all you need to do is kind of stack these. So then you add another one. So your next change that you decide to make, type that in there and just stack these up until you're done. And then compile. And then I'll want a screenshot of what you create here. And then I'll also want another screenshot from as close to the same angle as your benchmark, your baseline as you can, showing your new frame rate. So I know you guys have all got different PCs, so there's every chance that Declan's could catch fire doing that. If that happens, I apologise. But try and show me some improvement in this task. That's all I ask. That's pretty much the task for this week then. So make sure you spend some time on that. If you do this properly and really dig into the settings, it should take you about an hour, and then to get them all in the level blueprint and test it out. So that's what I'm looking for. And then I'll make sure that I speak to you guys just to touch base on your own environments. You want to now really start jumping into building things and starting to put things in place. So I'm going to leave that there. Get in touch on Discord if you have any issues with this or any kind of further questions. Okay, team, I will speak to you today. If you're watching this today, on Monday, you know what I mean. Alright, I'm going.